We start Inhott 21. First up will be the technical community briefing session jointly hosted by DSC, Women in Tech, and Crypto and Itt. Following this, the much awaited technical club briefing session, in which the various technical clubs of the college will explain about the work they do and the competitions they are holding as a part of Inhott 21. I am Vishwa Mehta and I will be your host for tonight. I am a member of the Technical Council of NIT Trichy. Here at the Technical Council, we are a team of tech enthusiasts that represent the technical wing of the Students' Council, responsible for managing, ideating, and supervising all tech-related activities on the campus. Our prime focus is to bring access to the latest technical developments into the campus via initiatives and programs. We are the concurrent point of technology on campus, and we coordinate with the technical clubs, serve as the Pragyan Technical Council, and function as a wing of the Students' Council to work on campus development initiatives. Inhott is an yearly event organized by the TC in association with Pragyan and several tech clubs of NIT Trichy. Inhott is a joint initiative by Pragyan and the Technical Council to boost innovation and inspire students to develop new methods of solving problems. It is designed exclusively for first years and aims to provide a conducive environment for the students to build their interests in tech, gain new perspectives, and explore different problems and the strategies to solve them. This year, Inhott will be a 10-day fiesta and will be held as an in-house edition, featuring a range of events, workshops, community sessions, and tech club briefings. Stay tuned for all the exciting activities coming up. Now, before the tech club interactions, we'll have presentations from various tech communities on the campus. A tech community is different from club in the sense that anyone interested can join the community and collaborate on projects with people in the community. They strive to provide the necessary support and resources for all the NIT Trichy students. The first community which will be presenting is the Developer Students Clubs, NIT Trichy, powered by Google. DSC NIT Trichy is a community for the students interested in developer technologies to connect, collaborate, and grow in a peer-to-peer learning environment. Westing Thomas, lead DSCC NITT, will be telling you more about it. Over to you, Weston.
Hello everyone, my name is Beston P. Thomas. I'm a third year BTech student from Metallurgical and Materials Engineering. I'm the leader of Developer Student Clubs in NIT Trichy. By the way, can you show my screen? Okay, so Developer Student Clubs are a university-based community groups for students interested in Google developer technologies. There are over 275 DSC chapters in India, and our institute is one among them. We operate with the motto, helping students bridge the gap between theory and practice. Now, what do we do here? So coming to our institute, DSC NIT Trichy is an open to all student community where students can join to learn and share their knowledge in development. We conduct several events for the growth and enrichment of the developer community in the campus and develop a coding culture over here. So why would you want to join DSC? So these are like three main steps by which you can benefit by joining DSC. So first one is connect. Like you can connect with other students in the campus interested in developer technologies. All are welcome, including those with diverse background and different majors. And you can learn a wide range of technological topics where new skills are gained through hands-on workshops, in-person training, and project building activities. And finally, you can grow, applying your new knowledge and connections to build great solutions for local problems. Now, what are the events that we have done so far? Let's see one by them. First of all, we conducted 30 days of Google Cloud in the month of October, where students were given free credits to Google Cloud platform through Quick Labs. Quick Labs is a platform by Google Cloud where you can get hands-on experience in different topics related to Google Cloud, for example, big data, cloud computing, machine learning on the cloud, etc. And 32 students from our institute won swags from Google Cloud, which include t-shirts, bags, stickers, etc. And then we had Android Study Gems. Most of you might remember this because we recently have it and it's still going on. Till now, we had 6 study gems so far, introducing students to the world of Android app development through Code Labs by Google. It had a great participation from your batch, and then the event is still going on, and you can still earn badges from the link circulated in our Discord channel. And now let me talk something about Solution Challenge. Solution Challenge is our flagship event, and here which we officially announced last week. And here you can compete with other teams from DSCs from all over the world. And over here you form a team of 4 members and build a project addressing any of the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs in short, using any Google developer technologies like Android, Flutter, Cloud, Firebase, TensorFlow, etc. And it's not for free. Like, there are many exciting prizes waiting for you in Solution Challenge. So the top 50 teams will get mentorship. Top 10 teams will get a subscription to Pluralsight and exclusive mentorship. Top 3 winners get a Chromebook for free. And then there are to learn more about the challenge, you can head over to our Discord channel or our website. And that's not all. Like, we have many other events. These are 2 other examples. So we had DSC Wow and Coding Culture. These are events conducted in collaboration with other DSCs as well. So as I told, there are 275 plus DSCs in India itself, and the DSC Wow was conducted in collaboration with more than 100 DSCs, which was a hackathon conducted in November. The Coding Culture is a DSC initiative by more than 50 DSCs, and it's going on. Like, they conduct regular coding competitions, especially in the realm of competitive programming. And then here's the slide where you all have been waiting for: how to join. So joining a community is very simple compared to a club. So you just need to join our Discord channel, and also check out our website at dscnitt.github.io to learn more about the community, and the links are again posted over there. Lastly, any questions for me? Okay, so here is one question. For Solution Challenge, should the participants be from the same institute? It's not required, but it's not required being from the same institute. You can be from different institutes. But when you present your challenge, you present it as part of one DSC. Say, again, like DSC, like people from outside NIT can also join the DSC chapter. So you can present your problem collaborating with others. But when you mention the DSC name, you can mention DSC NIT.
All right. Listen, please tell us something about the short-term and long-term plans of DSC and NIT.
So regarding the short-term plans, we have a couple of events that's currently running, namely Android Study Gems and this Solution Challenge. The Android Study Jam will end in a few days. This Solution Challenge will go on till March 31st. That is its deadline. So till then, you have time to present your demo solutions. And then in the long term, we are planning to expand this community, expand in the sense expanding the technical team. So we are currently having a technical team selection by which more people who have some level of expertise in various fields can join the tech team, and then they can help out and they can take a proactive step in helping out the community. So anyone with doubts or having any problem in any of the fields that we cover can approach the technical team or approach in our Discord channels so that the tech team can answer them and clear their queries.
All right. Now I think that's all for the questions. Thank you, Weston, for the wonderful brief. The next community.
Thank you, Vishwa.
The next community we have is Women in Tech. Women in Tech aspires to help anyone identifying as a woman and interested in STEM fields by fostering equity and enabling them to get to places they aspire and deserve. Ishani, head of Women in Tech, will brief you about the community. Over to you, Ishani.
Hey everyone. So yeah, hi Vishwa. I'm Ishani and I'll be talking about the women in tech community today. So let's get started. Okay, so is my screen visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, yeah, sure. So, so when you think about the women in tech community, I think the first question that comes to anyone's mind is why do we need this community in the first place? So let me take you through that whole procedure. So the women percentage in STEM drastically drops when we move from school, till class 10 to 11th and 12th, and then to colleges, and then to entry level jobs, and then to leadership positions. The stats that we found is something like this. So when you're in class 10, your class percentage is almost 50% boys and girls. When you move to 11th and 12th, or when you're in college or, entry level of job, in STEM fields, it's around 30% of women. Whereas if you move to the leadership positions, that is like the top notch positions of the company, the percentage of women decreases to 15.2%. That's almost half of, the number of people who started out. And it's not just me saying these by myself. There are newspaper articles, there have been extensive researches on each one of these, which shows the numbers, exactly. So what happens when the numbers keep on decreasing as we move forward in life? Some of the issues that we saw among like our years in college and our seniors also identified are things like when you are lesser in number, you have lack of a proper peer group to support each other in the learning process. There's also a lack of awareness about opportunities and proper mentorship, and in general, when you just don't see someone as a role model who isn't like you, there's a lack of confidence and there's a fear of judgment by the majority group, in any field. Here we are talking about tech. So these are the issues that come up when you are a minority in some field. But then all hope is not lost. We saw last year in Nobel Prize for Physics, we had Andrea uh, getting the Nobel Prize. We had two women getting the Nobel Prize in chemistry, Emmanuel and Jennifer. And then how can we forget Ada Lovelace? So she's considered the first, world's first computer programmer. So that just shows us that hope is not lost, and that is where we come in. So we are just a community comprising of women students and the alumni of NIT Trichy. Our aim is to improve the representation of women in tech and to remove any form of existing bias that exists for women performance in STEM fields by establishing a supportive peer group where we have each woman empowering other women, and that leads to collective growth. So this community is all based on give and take value. If we have something that we can share with you all, we would love to, and we hope you would also have something to share with us based on your experiences and whatever you have seen till now. So I'll talk about our journey so far. So our journey in college used to be very different what we used to do in college, because in college we would go to open the hostels and we would talk with everyone face to face. And sadly that connection was missing in the last semester, and so we shifted gears and we started doing different things in the online semester, that is the previous semester. So in the previous semester, we kickstarted the previous semester with an alumni spotlight series by Srimati Ma'am, who is the vice president of HCL. Then we had a session on opportunities in research, drafting your own resume, followed by personalized resume reviews. We also continuously have Ask Me Anything sessions on, let's say, scholarships like SRFP, or on AI, ML, competitive programming, open source programming, power electronics, and then also on internship programs like Google Step. And finally, we had a panel discussion with Last and Turbo leads towards December, and now we are conducting mock interviews. So this is to show that tech here doesn't mean necessarily just computer science, but it includes all the branches of STEM, as I pointed out before. So what do we have in store for you is, again, we keep on having AMAs very regularly to clear doubts based on, demand of specific domains. We are also planning to have mentorship programs with alumni and seniors of NITT to guide people who are currently in college. And this community basically provides you a platform where you can do project collaboration with like-minded peers. We also have notifications of upcoming opportunities because that's something that we saw ourselves missing out on over the years in college, and we do not want you all to be missing out on. And we will also have some informal coffee chats so that we get to know you all well. And finally, we'll also have some non-technical discussions on diversity and related subjects so that we just increase our awareness about these subjects more. Now, how can you join? So there are no prerequisites required to join our community. We have the Discord link here, and I'm sure they will be showing you the link too. So that's how you join. That said, the community is open for everyone, not restricted to guys or girls, because we feel that everyone needs to be aware of these issues and be mindful of them to avoid any unconscious bias that might exist in our minds. So our sessions are also open for everyone. Yeah, and any questions? That's it from my side.
Yeah, Ishani. Thank you for that brief. One question from my side. Can you enlighten us about some of the events that you have in store for the freshers this year?
Okay, so all the events that I pointed out are sort of based or based around the freshers that we have. So we didn't get a chance to meet the juniors in college at all. That's why we have planned informal coffee chats so that we would be groups of let's say 4 or 5 people, and we sit together, we talk about things that we like and our interests, and that we will get to know each other very well. And apart from that, like I said, we keep on having Ask Me Anything sessions based on the demand of the topics. So let's say if juniors have demand of any particular topic that they want to know about, let's say it's either research or it's internships or it's job, or let's say it's any core branch, you want to know what's the scope in that particular branch. So we have people from every branch in like the core group, so they will, and in the community as well. So everyone is out there to help you out with all the resources that you need, with all the support that you need.
All right. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ishani. The third and the last community presenting today is Crypto and Itt. Crypto and Itt is an open for all community focused on educating and upskilling developers on blockchain technologies. Madhav Agarwal, the founder of Crypto and Itt, will tell you more about it. Welcome, Madhav.
Good evening. Good evening, Vishwa. So, good evening, guys. And first of all, I would like to congratulate each and every one of you for getting into NIT Trichy. So let's begin, right? So what is blockchain? This is a term that you would have heard of a lot over the past few years, right? And more so in the past 1 year, right? So blockchain is basically one of the major buzzwords of the previous decade. And now with a majority of countries taking up adoption of blockchain technologies, it is going to be the next big thing in tech, right? So blockchain has also been called the most marketable career path of the 21st century. So what are we exactly talking about over here? So blockchain, just to give you a brief about it, countries like the US, China have started to invest in blockchain a lot, right? So all major processes such as supply chain, delivery have certain elements of blockchain included in them, and that's where the real benefit of blockchain lies, right? So just talking about this past year, you would have seen that the prices of Bitcoin have risen by about 200%, right? So people who were nobodies, right? They've been they've become millionaires overnight. And I'm sure you would have heard of the word blockchain back in 2017 as well, right? Why? Because at that point of time, you would have heard of Ripple and Bitcoin when they just came to India and people started investing before it got banned, right? So the question truly is that why blockchain, right? So why blockchain? Because there are certain elements of blockchain that can promise true financial independence, which is called decentralized finance, right? So blockchain has, as I told you, it's being integrated, and you would have heard of PayPal and Venmo in the US, which are taking up payments through blockchain through cryptocurrencies, right? So we expect India to follow soon, and that is one of the major aspects that we all are looking towards, right? As far as blockchain is concerned. So apart from that, there are a lot of incentives of blockchain, and basically you have that every beginner, right? Every beginner needs to learn blockchain. So I'll tell you why. First of all, with the right financial knowledge, everybody through blockchain can make a huge difference. And with companies like Google, they've already started adopting blockchain technologies, because at the end of the day, all cloud services are going to are going to become decentralized, right? The decentralized part of it is the major incentive of blockchain. So everybody can become a part of this community. I'll get to that. So some of the examples of blockchain applications are document storage, lending and borrowing, insurance, asset staking, and a lot more, right? So what is Crypto and ITT, right? Crypto and ITT is an open for all blockchain community. It has been started with the vision to develop, to create a full-fledged blockchain community, right? Enabling the people and its members to develop large-scale applications. When the tech industry is moving so fast, we want all of you to take up blockchain and really get familiar with it, get used to it, right? So the mission is really to may help the students of NIT Trichy become blockchain domain professionals. Right. So what have we done until now, and tell you more about our community, right? So this enthusiastic, we're creating an enthusiastic community of students, right? And we are completely going to support you and motivate you in this journey. We have conducted 2 sessions by mentors up till now, right? And these mentors, I'll go on to speak about more about them. And basically, we've made a curated list of resources which we've circulated to the people, and this will enable them to get a good grasp of blockchain, right? So we are also providing you with projects, right? One-on-one mentorship experience, and with all the experience you need to participate in competitions, right? So whenever a competition comes up, we release updates and notifications in the group to allow you to participate in them. So yes, so coming to this part, basically, Crypto NITT, right? The club has associations with 2 major companies. We are collaborating with Cello Labs, and Tezos. Cello is a US-based foundation, and Tezos is a Switzerland-based foundation. So Cello Labs is an open platform that makes financial tools basically aided to, so that anybody can take the advantages of blockchain through their mobile phones, right? That's their main vision. Tezos, on the other hand, is an open source blockchain protocol, right? Which is mainly focusing on secure payments for everyone. So the aspects that we cover are both on the financial knowledge side and the application development side. What do I mean by financial knowledge? As I told you, that there are guaranteed returns with blockchain, right? But at the end of it, it's just a market, right? So if you have the right financial knowledge, you can make a lot of you can get good returns in the blockchain industry. And as far as application development is concerned, that is the tech side of it, which we're always ready to help you with, right? So yeah, now coming to the part that how are you going to be a part of Crypto NITT? So we have our Discord servers, right? You can join our Discord servers, and we welcome all of you to join the Discord servers. It's an open for all community, right? We would love for you all to take up blockchain development. Why? Because it's going to become even more popular. We have the biggest companies taking up blockchain technologies, and this is going to become one of the major things in tech in the coming years, right? So why now coming to the point that like how will we help you in this journey, right? So you can follow us on our social media handles. As I already spoke about, the Crypto and Itt Discord channel, right? You can join that, and we also have our Instagram pages, so we can answer all your questions over there. Any questions you would have now, I'll be open to answering them as well.
Yeah, Madhav. Thank you for your brief. Two questions from my side. First off, like how can the first years, the freshers, be like, how can they start working on it before they become the part of the community, and how would it? Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. So basically, blockchain has become very popular, right? So you can, if you want to get right into it, right, like straight up dive into it, you can obviously check up any of the blockchain resources online, right? Ethereum is a good place to start. Tezos is a good place to start. You can just Google up the word blockchain and an introduction to decentralized application development, and you'll get a huge list of resources, right? So that is one way if you want to get started, and the other one is to obviously join the community, give us an opportunity to guide you. We are willing to help you every step of the way.
All right. And can you tell us something about the upcoming events of Crypto and ITT?
Yeah. So upcoming events, we have a lot of mentorship sessions, right, which will be conducted. So these, yeah, again, coming back to the mentorship sessions, the mentorship sessions were conducted by people from both like Tezos and Cello. So we had one of our alumni, right, Mr. who delivered a talk regarding blockchain technologies in order to like sensitize the community regarding blockchain technologies, right? And the second talk was from a member from the Tezos company, right? And he gave a session on basic decentralized application development. So I guess we'll be conducting a lot more sessions like that. We have a huge list of hackathons that are coming up. So you have huge bounty rewards on this. Again, I like to stress upon the word adoption, right? Every tech industry is adopting blockchain. They are integrating it with their services. They're streamlining these services, right? So why? Because of the two major features, transparency and trust, right? So when you have these two things in technology, I think that's going to go a long way.
Right. Yeah, there's one more question coming up. What are the prerequisites needed to start learning blockchain?
So the prerequisites are none, basically. In order to start learning blockchain, you can start right now, right? You just need to, we'll guide you through coding to begin with, right? As far as like decentralized application development is concerned, so we'll help you out with the coding aspect of it, right? There are something called smart contracts. That's where that'll be a good place to start at. So you can start with the smart contract development. Apart from that, there is really no basic prerequisite, right? You come in as a beginner and we convert you into a professional.
Sounds good. Okay. Another question from Yash. What and how will they be taught this blockchain thing? Like, what exactly do they need to understand? They need to know to understand blockchain.
Okay. In order to understand blockchain, you first need to grasp the real meaning of the word decentralized, right? What does decentralized mean? So once you know that, I think you understand about 30% of what blockchain is. Apart from that, what and how you will be learning this blockchain thing. It's basically we'll be conducting sessions for you. We'll be giving you a list of resources. We have enabled you to ask us questions, right? So the community is open for all. You can explore, you can ask us questions, and we'll be answering all your doubts over there. I
Sounds
hope
good.
that answers your question, Yash. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's all for the Q&A. Thank you, Madhav. I'm
Thank
sure
you.
that
Thank
all
you,
of you are.
Vishal.
I'm sure that all of you are interested in joining the communities. You can find the links to the communities in the description below. Now we'll get started to the Tech Club briefings. Okay. As we know, the Technical Council also organizes an event during Inhott every year. It's called the Fundamentals. So Fundamentals will be a very fun and interesting event. The basic premise of the event is the participants will be given a certain situation, and they will have to play out that situation as much as detail as possible using data to back up your claims. The teams will be judged based on how well they present and the general creativeness of their ideas and how accurate and factual their claims are. Okay, questions and situations that will go from what if Germany had won World War II, or how is Simpsons, the TV show, predicting events which are happening in reality, or what if people really raided Area 51? The participants will have to try their best to make use of the resources available to them and include PPTs, pie charts, flow charts, graphs, and stuff like that, to back up their solution while presenting. And they can come as a team with a maximum of 3 members. There is no prerequisite for this event, and anyone who wants to show off their brainstorming skills can participate. Now, coming up next, we have a representative from Sigma, the business club of NIT Trichy. Sigma, the business club of NIT Trichy, aims to provide a platform for aspiring students in managerial and techno-managerial roles. Sigma will be conducting a workshop, Case Closed, and now I invite Vishaka to take over and talk about the event.
Yeah, so good evening, everyone. Hope all of you are doing well and keeping safe. So Sigma is the official business club of NIT Trichy. The vision of Sigma is to provide learning resources to students who are aspiring in the management field. Sigma basically has 4 verticals, which works on articles, case studies, project, and data analytics. I would like to thank Technical Council for this wonderful initiative. So first year is a time for self-exploration and knowing where your interests lie. And Case Closed is one such event organized by Sigma to give you a glimpse into the field of management consulting. And we have curated the 3 hours of the workshop into 2 parts basically. The first part is an introduction to consulting frameworks, where we would cover popular frameworks like Potter's 5 forces, 4 P's of marketing, market entry frameworks. And the second part of the workshop would be focused on using these frameworks to solve case studies and also learning new concepts alongside like just in time, marketing techniques, market penetration strategies, and a lot more. And attending this workshop would help you all get a lot of insights on how to solve case studies, and the frameworks which you learn will help you excel in any future case study competitions you are participating. And the case closed is scheduled to happen on 23rd January, which is tomorrow. And the timing of the workshop is 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. And there are no prerequisites required for the workshop, and it will require individual participation. And it's not a team workshop. So make sure to fill up the registration form and be there tomorrow.
Yeah, Vishaka, thanks for the brief. There are a few questions that I would like to ask on the behalf of the freshers. Will the workshop be conducted as one continuous session?
Yes, it will be 3 hours long workshop, and it will be conducted for as a continuous session.
All right. And is this workshop recommended for someone who has had zero experience in the past with regards to consulting?
Totally. This is an introduction to management studies and management consulting basically. So people with zero experience or knowledge can come to the workshop and see if their interests lie in management in particular.
And will the participants will have to prepare anything beforehand for the workshop?
No, there are no prerequisites required at all.
All right. Thank you for your time. Okay. Coming up next is Nakshatra, the astronomy club of NIT Trichy. And I would like to call up Himanshi to give a brief on their event. Okay. It seems like there's some technical fault. We'd like to move on to Delta. Delta is the programming club of NIT Trichy, and they will be organizing an event for this edition of Inhott called the Code Golf. And now I call upon Sandhya to give a brief about that. Okay. Seems like it's all set now. Okay. I would like to call upon Himanshi to give a brief about the Nakshatra event that will be taking place.
Hi, Vishwa. Thank you.
Hi, Himanshi.
Hi, good evening, all. I'll just share my screen and we'll get started. Just a minute. Hey, everyone. I'm Himanshi. I'm the current Vice President of Nakshatra, the Astronomy and Science Club of NIT Trichy. As you would know, we are basically a group of astronomy enthusiasts, and we love to know everything about space, astronomy, new space technologies, and our work speaks for us. We conduct workshops and various events throughout the year, and this time we are very glad to present the X-ray astronomy workshop in association with Pragyan. And you might have received the brochure. I'll quickly let you know what the workshop entails. So you would have seen these colorful pictures of nebulas, galaxies, and it all looks very enchanting. But these colorful pictures have a very strong significance in the field of astronomy, and they have a different set of subject altogether, which is called extra astronomy. The astronomers use the data from these pictures and they extract various properties of the object that they're observing using a software called DS9. And the best bit about this is the DS9 software is open source, so anyone can download and anyone can experiment. And this workshop is designed to give you a brief introduction about what DS9 is. Right. So the workshop will take place on 24th of January on MS Teams, as you would have already received the notification. The most important thing is you should download DS9 in your system before you attend the workshop, so it will save some time. And the download link you can see in the banner, or you can just Google DS9 SAO, and the first link will be a Harvard University link, and you can download. And it's pretty straightforward. You just download and install the exe file. And once you do that, you will see the screen. And we'll be experimenting using this in a workshop day. And that's about it. And I look forward to see you all there. Thank you so much. if you have any questions, then I'd be glad to answer them as well.
Yeah, Himanshi. One question.
Yes.
Why are we using this specific software for this?
Right. So what basically happens is the amount of data in space is enormous, and so you have a lot of objects in the universe that you cannot see in the visible range, right? All these colorful pictures that we see on Google or anywhere else, these are man-made. These colors are allocated for a specific purpose, which is based on energy and a lot of other factors. And that's where extra astronomy comes in. And DS9 is a software which helps you to discover something which you cannot see. You can analyze the properties of objects which cannot be seen. So, which is why we're using the software.
All right. And here's a fun question from the audience.
Right?
Regarding using the software, how do we
Mhm.
know that the things that we will be seeing in the software are actually real and not a simulation?
It's not a simulation,
That
right?
is, yeah. Sorry.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, so DS9 in the first interface would look basically a very straightforward thing, and it's basically, as some scientists call it, it's basically like a Photoshop on steroids. But you validate the authenticity of the software because it is run by the Harvard University, and the data set that we get is from the Chandra Observatory. You can Google it up; it's all there, and it's managed by the Rutgers University. So yeah, it's pretty valid, I guess.
Okay, good.
Anything else?
No, that's all. Thank you.
Okay,
Manoj.
thank you so much.
Okay, guys. Up next is Delta. Delta is the programming club of NIT Trichy, and they will be organizing an event for this edition of Inhott called Code Golf. Now, I'd like to call upon Sandhya to give a brief about that.
So, hi everyone. Firstly, congrats on making it here to NIT Trichy. So first, let me talk about what Delta is about. So here at Delta, we are basically a bunch of coders, problem solvers, computer geeks, developers, technical architects, and to sum it up, a bunch of computer science enthusiasts that enjoy coding and hope to make a difference with our software. But when I say computer science, I don't mean that your major should be computer science. In fact, like more than half of the people in the club are non-computer science. So it's really something. It's open to all departments. So we basically love competitions. Like competitions sort of sets our adrenaline rushing. So we decided we conduct golf. So Code Golf is a competitive programming contest with one twist. That is, your code should be as short as possible as well. So primarily how competitive programming contests work is that you're given a problem statement and you need to develop an algorithm and code up your algorithm, which will pass a set of time constraints and memory constraints. So a Code Golf is that, plus your code should be as short as possible. So if your code is like shorter than the rest of the people, you can get a better score. So this is actually very fun because you're optimizing a lot of things, and how this competition is going to be conducted is that it's going to be a 2-hour contest, and you're going to have 8 algorithmic problems, and it's like you code up. So there are 3 categories. You have the C++ category, the Python category, and a miscellaneous language category, which includes languages like Clojure, C hash, Erlang, Go, Haskell, Java, JavaScript, Perl, PHP, Ruby, Scala, and Swift. So I know they might sound limited. In fact, Code Golf is especially fun with some really unheard of languages, because Code Golf typically involves people trying to pitch the shortest solutions in languages people haven't really heard of. But we understand that as freshers you wouldn't be introduced to such languages, so we thought we'd have the languages which most of you would be familiar with, so which is why we have separate categories. But the miscellaneous language category is for those of you who are kind of into the fun short languages, for you to experiment as well. So we kept it open. And so yeah, it's not enough if you just solve the problem. Like I said, it has to be as short as possible. And we have typically 2 prizes for each category: the C++ category, the Python category, and the miscellaneous languages category. So that's about it. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Yeah, Sandhya. So 2 questions from my side. What type of questions come under algorithmic questions, and what are the prerequisites for doing these type of questions here?
Okay, so well, there are 2 things. So when I say algorithm simply means a procedure, like a set of steps set of steps to solve a problem. So it might sound complicated, but it's really just a set of steps. And how to learn? So we aren't really involving the very hard classic algorithms because it's a competition for freshers. So like some logic and math also should like help you get a long way here in this contest. So but then algorithms is actually like there's still a lot of research going on in algorithms. It's actually a huge subject. But but as of this competition, you good to go with whatever knowledge you have, whatever basic coding experience you have.
Right. One more question. By short, do you mean like is it the number of lines or complexity? Like if it is the number of lines, then it will only test how much one can cram in one line, right?
Okay, it is actually number of not number of lines, the number of characters rather. So well, I wouldn't say it's exactly how much you would cram. I mean, yeah, that's also there, but especially for example, instead of let's consider C++, okay, so instead of writing like an if-else statement, you would probably use like a ternary operator. Or for instance, in Python, you could write some really huge loops, but if you could write lambda expressions, use lambda expressions, that would make your code much shorter. So even these kinds of very syntactic tricks are also involved in making the code short.
Right.
And no, by short, it as of complexity wise, it should be fast enough to pass the given test cases. Usually the constraints will be specified in the question, as in the input constraints, and accordingly you can determine whether your algorithm is fast enough. So it's really that fast enough to pass the constraints, as short as possible. So those are 2 things to keep in mind.
Right. Okay. And is the event like to be like okay? Can the students participate only under one category?
Yes, students can participate only under one category.
All right. And will it be a group thing or an individual? Individual. Okay. Good. And okay. Can you give an okay? Okay. Can you give an example problem for the?
Oh, okay. An example problem. So it could be something as let me think. So I mean, you could actually consider any algorithmic problem. So I could probably give you, okay, to simplify things, I could give you an array of integers, and I could ask you to search for a particular element in the array. This is a simple problem what I'm giving. I could give you an array of integers and ask you to search for a particular element in the array. So how would you do it? The algorithm is actually simple, but you can use a lot of C++. You can use maybe C++, the STL library, or you can use some inbuilt functions. So it's about understanding.
And again, making it short and simple. Yeah. Okay. Another question. Do the candidates need to know about data structures and algorithms to survive the competition?
We have tried to make it as we have tried to involve not much of data structures. So but I mean, it's always going to be a plus to know data structures and algorithms. But again, we've tried to like not make it too data structure oriented, because we understand it's hard to code up in the limited time. So
yeah. And okay, like do you recommend the candidates to like refer something before coming up for the workshop event?
Okay, so if you kind of want to get a good idea of what Code Golf is about, you can check out the Code Golf Stack Exchange. There's a basically they keep on discussing a lot of puzzles, a lot of questions, and try to suggest solutions with as short code as possible. So I totally recommend the Code Golf Stack Exchange. Apart from this, you can also check out Code Golf competitions conducted during fests by other colleges. You'll typically find them on Hacker Earth or HackerRank. So yeah,
All right.
that should do.
Thank you, Sandhya. That's all for the Q&A.
Yeah.
Okay, so coming up next is Spider, the official research and development club of NIT Trichy. And I'd like to call upon Arunesh to give a brief about the event. Your mic is off, Arunesh.
Hello everyone. So now I'll give a short description of the event. So the event that we are conducting is basically an electrical circuit design and Arduino simulation event. And more than electrical circuit simulation, it will be about Arduino. So we have leveled the field over there. So now you guys might be wondering what Arduino is. You don't have to worry about it. Arduino is just a programmable chip that can be connected to other components like say servos, motors, and servos, motors, and sensors. And you'll be able to write some lines of code in that Arduino microcontroller, which will then be used to control all the components and achieve a certain result. So the way this competition will be is that we'll ask you to design something to achieve some result. So you will be on a platform called Tinkercad. So Tinkercad has all these electronic components and the Arduino board as well. So you have to just pick those elements, connect them, and put in this short line of code. And then that's how you will be trying to achieve the desired result that we have asked in the problem statement. And so I would like to share my screen, and I'll show briefly what exactly this show what this Tinkercad is. So I hope my screen is visible, and this is Tinkercad. So as you can see, we have chosen this is the Arduino board that we're talking about. And you guys do not need to know actual coding or use any coding language to program this Arduino board in Tinkercad. You already have these inbuilt code blocks to program. So all you have to do is, and after picking your components, just click code. Like you can pick here, right? And then after picking your board, it will appear here. Then click code, and you can do all the coding. I've already done some basic blocks for you. And then click start simulation, and as you can see, there's a LED blinking. It's an inbuilt LED, so you can. So using this kind of code block itself, you will be able to code everything. It's very basic, and the problem statements are not too difficult. You just have to apply your critical thinking, and you will be through. And other than that, we also have some electrical circuits. Like for electrical circuits, all you have to do is, if you remember in 12th grade, there was a chapter called AC circuits, and there's also a chapter in the end about like semiconductors and diodes and transistors. So just go through and brush the basic topics in these two chapters, and you'll be good for a competition. It's really like fresher friendly, and the platform Tinkercad is also very it is not a professional engineering software. Like we people in Spider don't use Tinkercad. Like Tinkercad is there to like help newbies and like school students explore the world of microcontrollers. So it's all very easy and pressure friendly. So that's about our event. And for participating in this event, you'll have to participate in teams of 3 minimum and maximum 5, and all your teammates must register through Pragyan. And on the day of the competition, you will be added to a Microsoft Teams team called Inhott. In Inhott, there's a channel called Spider Simulation Contest. So just join that channel. There'll be a meeting going on, and once you reach there, we'll be telling you how to how you have to proceed further. Like if you're a team, when you're submitting your circuit, just like on the corner you can change your title, and the title just give the names as like just put all your team members' names together. That's all. So there's no separate procedure for that. Just all of you, all your teammates, register individually through Pragyan. Yeah. That's about the event, and now we're open for questions.
Yeah, Arunesh. Okay, thank you for the brief. And I wanted to know if there are any restrictions based on how the team needs to be formed, or is it like anyone you want?
Yeah, anyone you want from any branch across. Yeah, anybody can participate. There's no restrictions.
All right, and and will there be any partial markings for each question? That sort of thing we're working with?
So the partial markings will be there, but then we won't be revealing like how we're actually going to be correcting, right? But there'll be partial marks. We'll be judging things like, say you have achieved like 50% of objective, then we'll see, okay, what is the efficiency of your circuit, what components you have used. If somebody else has done the same circuit in a better way, then obviously we'll have to give you more marks, right? So partial marks are there, so you can always come and try, and we'll take care of the evaluation. No worries about that.
All right, and there's another question. What should we study or revise for the event? There are a lot of resources available on the Pragyan website.
So speaking about this event, like I said, Arduino, we have chosen the platform Tinkercad, on which we already, for coding that microcontroller board, you can use the code blocks on Tinkercad, right? For that, you don't need to study anything as such. And as far as electrical circuits are concerned, I think I just mentioned in my brief, in 12th grade, there were these two chapters, right? One is AC circuits, and the other thing is about transistors and diodes. Just study these two chapters, brush up on this topic. That will take you through the electrical circuit questions. And as far as Arduino simulation questions are concerned, you don't need to learn anything, right? And if anything, because you can only use the code blocks and things like that, and we'll also be there in the event. So if there's any doubts you have, you can always ask us in the event, and we'll be there to clear it for you. So you don't have to prepare anything as such. Don't worry about that. Just go through those two topics I mentioned. That's all.
Also, the resources for the event will be sent to you on your MS Teams. So that should be enough for. Also, okay, one more question. How many problem statements will be there?
You will find out when you come for the competition, but don't worry, it's not a lot. It's really small. Like, we have measured the time, and you will be able to at least do around 60% or 70% of questions. You will be able to do, and if you do 70% of questions, you will win. You don't have to worry about that. Yeah, don't worry. And the questions are all scaled down, level down questions, right? The software itself is level down. The questions itself are level down, so that everybody can attempt it. So our idea of this is to encourage freshers to take up an interest in microcontrollers, which is why we are leveling down everything. So don't have to worry about that. It will be manageable.
Right. Okay. One more question. We have registered individually on Pragyan for event. How to know which team are you a part of?
Like, see, you you have to register as as in say me and Vishwa and one more another person want to be in a team. So now I'll register. Vishwa will also register, and his friend will also register. Then on the day of the event, we people will be there, and then we'll ask you, like, who all are a team, and then at that point in time, you guys can tell us that we three are in a team, and then you guys can work together, right? So that's how it is. Like, you have to make the team by yourself, but all of you have to register in the Pragyan website. Is that clear to you guys? You guys get it, right?
Yeah, I guess that's pretty clear. And yeah, I guess that's all for the questions. Okay, thank you, Aranesh.
Thank you.
Moving on, the next club is RMI, the official robotics club of NIT Trichy, and I'd like to call upon Jay Keshav to give a brief about the event.
Hi everyone, I'm Jay Keshav from RMI. As Vishwa told, the official robotics and machine learning club of NIT Trichy. And now I would like you to brief. So now I'd like to brief to you about our event in Inhott, that is Hybrid Hackathon. I'll just share my screen. 1 second. I hope you all can see it. Yeah. So, the name of the event is Hybrid Hackathon, and the structure of the event is as follows. We have divided the whole of the competition into 4 phases, right? And phase 0 is from the day you register till the day of the actual event, right? And during the actual event, you'll be asked to participate in a hackathon. That is how we have split. So phase 0 will happen from the day that you register till the day of the hackathon. And during phase 0, you will be required to make shape detection code. That is, when you feed in a shape to your Python script, the script should be able to read or identify the shape and tell what shape it is. That is all we have asked you to do in phase 0, right? And yeah, and that piece of code you'll be editing during your hackathon, right? So you'll be preparing for the hackathon by building a piece of code, and during your hackathon, you will be modifying your code based on the problem statement of the hackathon. And yeah, and that's how it goes. And I'll explain to you what happens when, right? So yeah. So first is shape detection, and you can use the time that is you have from now till the day of the hackathon to prepare for the hackathon. That is, we have provided you with resources in the Inhott page, which you can follow. And those resources are really basic, really simple, and it's more than enough to take you through the hackathon and the rest of the competition also. Yeah. So in phase 1, right, during the hackathon, phase 1, 2, and 3 phase 1, 2, and 3 will happen during the hackathon, right? And what you will be asked to do, that is phase 1, is you will be asked to modify the code that you did on phase 0 such that it suits the problem statement we give you on the day of the hackathon, right? I hope that's clear to you. It's as simple as that. And the next phase is phase 2, that is, you will be asked to prepare a very simple circuit in Arduino. And as Arnish from Spider told you before, Arduino is really a simple platform to learn, and it's quite easy. And we have provided you with resources to learn Arduino also. And you can just go live on YouTube and learn whatever is there. It's actually really simple. So that is phase 2, right? So phase 1 is phase 0 and 1, you'll be building a shape detection code. And phase 2, you'll be building a small circuit using Arduino. And phase 3 is a combination of both of them. You'll get to know what to do during phase 3, during the hackathon. And that's it about the event. And there are a few rules that you need to follow. And the first is about teams. You can either register individually, or you can be a team of 2 or a team of 3. Your team should not basically exceed 3 people. It should be limited within 3 people. And it's actually strongly suggested you have 2 or 3 people in your team, because during the hackathon, you will be required to simultaneously work on phase 1 and phase 2. So it's actually better if you have a teammate. But if you feel like you know the stuff and you can manage, I don't see any problem in registering individually either. And that is about the rules. And one more thing I wanted to mention was that you have to do your image processing using Python only. C++ will not be accepted. Also, C++ is so much more harder than Python. In case you do not have any background knowledge in Python, do not worry. Python is a relatively simple language to learn, and you do have I think have around 1 week or for 5 days, and that's more than enough to learn the very basics of Python that you'll be needing to participate in the hackathon. And yeah, that's it. I'm open to questions. Once again, let me just stop sharing. Yeah. Anything you have?
Yeah. Okay, Jaikesha, thanks for your brief. I have some questions for you. First off, being new to the scheme of the things in college and relatively no idea about the depth and difficulties in robotics, how can a student with interest participate effectively in the workshop?
Okay. So the thing about robotics is that internet is basically your best friend, right? Anything you want to learn is there in the internet, and that's how we all end up learning robotics. So yeah, we still do, right? Masters, any doubts or anything, we just refer robotics. And the thing is, we have constructed the problem statement in such a way that you do not need any prerequisite knowledge. You can just start now and be prepared in time for the hackathon. And I'd say it's mostly about the interest that you show, right? So it all comes down to how willing you are to learn and how interested you are. So if you're interested, you can participate.
Right. And just one more doubt. What should be done in case of a dispute, like a doubt or lack of facilities, if a candidate is facing?
Yeah. Lack of facilities, meaning all you need is a laptop for participating in the hackathon. And in case of disputes and stuff, any queries at all, you can either contact people from during the event. You can we will be there during the event. It's not a problem. So you can feel free to contact us. And even during the preparation, if you have any doubts, you can always contact people from RMI. And in case of disputes, coming to the point, you can bring it to us, and we will try to solve it in such a way that is fair for everyone involved.
All right. Okay. I think that's all for the questions.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Jacob. Okay. Coming up next is 180 Degrees Consulting NITT. That is NIT Trichy's branch of the world's largest student-based consultancy. I'd like to call upon Achyut to give a brief about that.
Hi guys. Hi Vishwa. Thanks a lot for having me. So firstly, a very warm welcome to all you first years. Hope you have had a good time over the past 1 month, made a lot of friends and all. And secondly, thanks a lot to Technical Council for bringing this Inhouse edition, to you online. I remember in my first year when I attended Inhott, that's when I got to know about a lot of clubs. So yes, it's a really great event. I encourage you all to participate. So Vishwa, I'm just sharing my screen. Let me know if you're able to see it. Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, it's visible.
It's visible? Okay. Okay, great. So a little bit about my campus life. So I'm a final year student majoring in instrumentation and control. I'm the director of external affairs at 180 Degrees Consulting. I've been a part of a lot of extracurricular activities, Festember, ESL, Midfest, Aveg, all the fests that you would have heard of. I had a short stint at the college football team, and yes, I am going to be an incoming product supply manager at P&G. So let's move on to what is 180 Degrees Consulting. I know a lot of you will be having that question. So very simply put, we are the world's largest student-run management consulting firm. There are over 150 branches across 35 countries, across the globe. So to give you a simple analogy, let's say, Google has a head office at California, but they do have a lot of branches across the world where people take care of operations. So 180 Degrees is kind of, a scaled down version for management consultants, where we have a global leadership team, and then we have a lot of branches across the world. So that is what we do. So we are an international firm. Moving on to this very simple question, what is consulting? All of you being engineering students, this is something that is not in line with engineering. So I just give you a very quick 1-minute introduction. So consulting, very simply put, is solving problems for other organizations that they don't have the time or expertise to solve. And management consulting in specific, we deal with business problems. I'll give you a very, very simple example. All of you go to a supermarket to buy groceries, right? So let's say that supermarket owner comes to you and says, hey Achyut, so he comes to me and says, hey Achyut, business is down for the last 1 month. I don't know what is happening. Profits are down. Can you help me solve this issue? So that is, a business problem, a very simple business problem. So what a consultant does is he will analyze all, finances, the supply chain and everything of the supermarket and come up with solutions. In technical terms, it's called recommendations for the client. So I hope you guys have understood. If not, we can always take questions in our Q&A. So a little bit about what our branch, the NIT Trichy branch, has done till now. So we've worked in 11 live projects with 9 different clients, both Indian and international. We've reached the finals of several case competitions. You can see the brands on your screen. We have secured the first place in a national level competition conducted by IIM Bangalore. We have a lot of mentors from industry, McKinsey, Bain, BCG. These are the top 3 consulting firms in the world. We also have a mentor from Ministry of Finance of India, who conduct regular workshops for our club members. And a very big perk of being part of this club is all the live projects that our consultants get to work on qualify as an internship that they can put on their resume. So it gives them a much needed resume boost to stand out in a very competent crowd that NIT Trichy is. So that is what our club has got to offer. So now coming to the Inhott event. So it's called In Case You Didn't Know. So what this is basically a case study competition. We'll be giving a very kind of a case that you guys can relate to, you guys can have fun when solving. I'm not going to disclose what the case is, you'll get to know on the day of the event. So are there any prerequisites? Absolutely none. All you need is common sense and the ability to solve general life problems. That's all you need. There's nothing technical to do with it. And one more big thing that we are offering from our side is we have 25 consultants who are part of our branch, and all these 25 consultants will be available as mentors during the event. So all these are competent people who have solved a lot of cases over the years, and these people will be mentoring you throughout the event, from understanding the problem to solving the problem to coming up with the solutions. So that is about the Inhott event. We can again take questions in our Q&A, which is open now. So, and you also have my contact number and my LinkedIn profile. So do drop a message on LinkedIn. I'll be glad to connect with any of you and have a chat. So that is it from my side, Vishwa. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we can take the Q&A.
Yeah, Achyut, thanks for the brief.
Yes.
Okay, I got some questions for you.
Once again, Vishwa, I am not able to see. Yes, I'm back. You can see me, yes? You can see me and hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah.
Okay, I got some questions for you. Since the candidates are first years, what kind of case studies can they expect to work upon here?
Yes, okay. So, as I said, the case studies are going to be extremely relevant to what you guys have faced, when transitioning from school to college. So that's a hint for you. So, I'm not going to reveal what the exact case is, but you will be able to relate to it 100%. And I think you guys will be able to give a much better solution than what we are capable of, because we haven't experienced the transition. Yes.
Right. Okay. One more question. Like if the candidates get stuck in the middle regarding an issue, how can they go about it?
Yes. So as I said, we will have mentors, like, our branch consultants who will be 100% available throughout the 3 years of the event, and they'll help you with everything. So, if you get stuck even when understanding the problem that's given to you, they'll be there to guide you in understanding the problem. If you're stuck while coming up with a solution, they'll be there. If you're stuck while making the presentation, they'll be there. So you don't need to worry about facing problems. They'll be there to take care of it. Yeah.
Right.
And yes, so one more thing that if I can add, so I think I missed this. You can register for the event as teams of 3, 2, or individual. So it's up to you. If you want to participate individually, you can, or maximum teams of 3.
All right. And one more question, last question for the session. How can participating in these case study hackathons help the candidates in the field of consulting as starters?
Okay, so that's an interesting question, as in how does participating in a case study competition help in real world? So number one, every single consulting firm that you go for, the selection process is through a case interview. A case interview is a short kind of case study session. So gaining experience before you sit for an interview is what these case competitions will help you with. And apart from this, they help you build a lot of skills like critical thinking, time management, working in a team, and all of that. So that is how it is. And I also saw a question on the screen. It was, how rigorous will the case study be? So yeah, so I am repeating this for like the 10th time. You guys do not need to worry about the difficulty level. We are there to take care of it. It will be extremely simple. It'll be a lot of fun, and you'll have a lot of entertainment when solving it. We've kind of structured it that way. So no worries about that. Just sign up and we'll take care of the rest.
All right. I think that's all for Q&A. Thank you, Achyut.
Okay, thanks a lot, Vishwa. And all the best to all participants for every event. And, sign up and we'll have a lot of fun. Yeah. Okay, thanks a lot, Krishna.
Okay, coming up next is Designer Consortium, the official product designing club of NIT Trichy. And I'd like to call upon Prem Kumar to give a brief about the interview.
Yeah, thank you, Vishwa. Good evening, everyone. This is Prem Kumar, President of Designers Consortium, the official product designing club of NIT Trichy. For those who don't know what we do here in DC, we basically take up societal and industrial problems, come up with engineering solutions for the same. And this time at Inhott, we Designers Consortium, along with PSI, will be presenting our annual workshop called Hackathon. And this workshop will span over 3 days from 30th Jan to 1st Feb. And this workshop will have 4 sessions in total, which comprises of 2 sessions from DC and 2 sessions from PSI. Now, let me give you a very brief idea of what we'll cover in these 2 sessions from DC. The first session will be that of a theory session where we'll cover 4 topics. The first would be on mechanics of machines. So this will deal with the kinematics of machinery, and it will also introduce you to some popular mechanisms that you see in things that around you in everyday lives. Second will be an introduction to product design basics, where we'll teach you different stages of product design. And third will be the product development strategies, which will introduce you to different approaches to the development of a product. And finally, we'll have a design thinking phase, which will basically be a case study with some of the projects from DC itself. And using these projects, we'll be explaining you how we in DC approach a problem or a problem statement, and how we travel from a problem statements phase to a product phase. Now, that's about the theory session. Following this will be the design session, where we'll teach you to do CAD modeling in a platform called Onshape. Now, Onshape is an open source platform. You just need to create your account on Onshape, and we can very well use it. Now, regarding the procedure to create an account on Onshape, we'll explain you all those things in the workshop itself. You need not worry about that. And what we'll teach in this design session is basically, we'll teach you the basics of sketching, part design, and also how to make an assembly. And after this, we'll also make you to design and assemble a specific mechanism. Now, that's about what DC will be covering in these 2 sessions in Hackathon. And if you are looking forward to explore the fields of the automobiles and product designing, please to register for Hackathon in the Inhouse website. I'm looking forward to meet you all there. And now I'm open to questions. If you have any, please ask.
Yeah, Prem Kumar, thanks for the brief. Okay, I got this question for you. Why is problem development strategies the main focus of your club?
Can you come again? Your voice was breaking.
Oh, my bad. Why is problem development strategies the main focus of your club?
All right. So we are having this as our main focus because that's what drives innovation, in my belief. So when you have a problem, when you encounter a problem, first of all, you should address different priorities, different engineering trade-offs, and come up with one particular solution, which is both an optimized one and also feasible. All right. So in order to account for this feasibility or viability or the desirability, you need to know the different approaches. And that's why that's our main focus now, the strategies behind product development. Hope I answered your.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all for the Q&A session. Thank you, Prem Kumar. Okay, guys. Coming up next is PSI Racing Club, and that is the official motorsports team of NIT Trichy. And I'd like to call upon Vijay Raghavan to give a brief upon the event.
Yeah, hello, Vishwan. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Hi.
Hi. So this is Vijay Raghavan, captain of PSI Racing team. As you know by now, PSI Racing is the official motorsport team of NIT Trichy. We build and single-seat ATV to participate in competitions like Baja SA India, Enduro Student India, and a few other off-road racing competitions. It is an honor to share this zeal and passion for automobiles with the first years through this Hackathon workshop. Talking about the workshop and specifically about the sessions by PSI, The first session would be a theory session based on automobile subsystems. We'll be teaching you the basics of subsystems like chassis, brakes, suspension, steering, powertrain, data acquisition. And then we would be showing you the simulations of these, like examples of these components and how they work. Generally, we would take you to ArtLab and explain you and show you the live demo. We'll try to simulate the same in the virtual environment as well. And in the second session, it is a practical session where you will be working on DAX sensors. You can build sensors in open source softwares. The software has not been decided yet. We are working on it and seeing what is the best solution possible. And then there is a session on basics of FEA. In that, we will teach you what we do in an analysis software generally. That is a brief about the events, sessions in PSI. After that, so people who should attend this workshop are obviously people who are interested in automobiles can register for the workshop. And first years who are yet to find their areas of interest, it is a definite for them. So you guys can clear up your mind and you can try out different things and you can clear up your mind. You can set yourself for the next 3 years. So this is the area you're going to work on. So there is no limit on departments or something shouldn't restrict you. Anyone can attend the workshop. So hope to see you there. Yeah, and it will help you clear your ideas clear off your minds for applying for inductions. You can find out if you want to apply for PSI or DC. You will get to know what we do in the club a little bit. So that experience will help you apply for the inductions. Yes, that is it. I'm open for any questions if you have any.
Vijay. So my first question to you. So PSI is conducting a workshop on various vehicle subsystems. Can you tell the viewers what exactly they'll get from the workshop and why is it important if you want to go in that stream?
Okay. So everyone thinks that automobiles is something very common and they know it because we see it in our everyday life, we travel in that. But when you go deep into subsystems, like what is a chassis, what is within brakes, what is suspension, steering, there's a lot more going on in a vehicle. So you will get an insight on what is going on into each of this. You'll start seeing automobile in a different perspective after the workshop. That's what I believe. During my first year, that's what I experienced also. You will understand the physics behind many things. So yeah, that is the goal of the workshop. And one other thing is you will find out if automobile is your passion. So you will see the components which we make. You will get a little bit you will understand a little bit about motorsport, like how Baha works or something. So that will help you in the future for applying any inductions or something.
Right. Okay. One more question from my side. As the automobile systems can be a bit complicated, do you expect the participants to have some background knowledge about this?
No, nothing. Everyone starts at level 0. When I joined the team, I had zero knowledge on automobiles. It's only the interest which matters. So we will start at level 0. We don't assume or we don't require any prerequisites for the candidate. Only that he should know what an automobile is. That's all. So that's it. We'll teach them.
Yeah. Another question from Farhan. What are the prerequisites for participating for the inductions of PSI Racing?
Prerequisites. This I mentioned earlier also. So simple passion for automobiles, your interest, dedication. That's all. You need not worry about how the inductions are going to be because the inductions are planned in such a way that it's a learning process for you. Automobile is not going to be taught in your first years. It's going to come in your third year or something. We don't expect them to know about that. The process itself would be designed in such a way that they start at a level 0 and reach a particular level which we need in the team during the end of inductions. If they're able to endure that and show dedication in learning it, they'll make it into the team. That's for sure.
Right. That sounds good. Okay. The last question from my side. Like, you are also conducting a simulation session. So can you explain what all is going to be covered in that, and do students get hands-on experience in those simulations?
Yes, sure. So the simulation sessions will involve data acquisition circuits and then FEA, basics on FEA. In data acquisition, like you'll be working on sensors. So generally what people do is they know how accelerometer works or a rotary encoder works, that's it. They don't know how to integrate it and make it work as a unit, a sensor, which senses something properly in a car. So that is what you'll be learning there, and the basic Arduino coding as well. So that is what you can expect in a simulation session of that. In the FEA, so first years are completely new to FEA. They might have known softwares like ANSYS and other things, but I don't expect them to know. But what you know is what is happening in the background of the software, a little bit of that. They'll obviously study it in their curriculum in their second year or something. We'll give them a basic intro so that they get a feel of it. In that we'll use both sessions will include open source software, so they'll be able to analyze a component there and build a circuit here. So sensor, both are hands-on sessions.
Right. Okay. Here's an interesting question from Yash. Do we get to keep the Go-Karts, or will it be disassembled after its completion?
Firstly, it's not a go-kart, it's an ATV. Go-kart is a track car. ATV is an all-terrain vehicle. Yes, we have cars, we keep our cars. Generally, the engines, we take it for the next car. Other than that, the car is intact. We have many cars in our art labs.
Yeah, nice.
People in the team get to drive all those things. That's yeah.
Okay, now that's tempting. Okay, cool. I think this is all for the Q&A session. Thank you, Vijay.
Yeah, someone asked, this DC PSA racing registration started? Yes, the registrations have started. People can apply, and it's not a team event, so individual registration is necessary. And what are the prerequisites for indexing school? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I think that's all.
Thank you, sure.
Thank you, Vijay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, guys. Yeah. So these were all the tech clubs that will be coming up with the events for the Inhott in-house edition this time. So, okay, guys, please do not forget to get yourselves registered for all the events and workshops that get to your interests. And don't worry if you still haven't figured it out as to what interests you and what all you want to go for. You all are just getting started. So just register for what you feel like and make sure you make the best use of all the opportunities that will be offered to you. The registrations for the events and workshops will be open up to the commencement of the event, and soon a Google Doc will be circulated for forming the teams for the events that support teams. All right. Okay, so that's all for tonight. Thanks a lot for your time. Hope you have a good day ahead.